Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a simple lanyard. For this project, you're going to need some yarn. I'm going to be using this number 3 weight mercerized cotton today. You're also going to need a crochet hook. I'll be using a 3mm hook today. You'll also need some scissors, as well as a yarn needle to weave in your ends. So gather your supplies and let's jump in. First things first, we're going to start with a slip knot. From here, chain 130 chains. 1, 2, 3, 27, 28, 129, and 130. It's a long chain, people. Don't worry, it's not a lot of rows. It's a lot of stitches, but not a lot of rows. So for row number 1, we're going to start with a single crochet. So I'm going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet all the way down that initial chain. At the end of the row, you're going to have 129 stitches in your row. So just make your way down. I'm going to zoom through this part because it is just a whole lot of single crochets. See you at the end of the row. All right, here I am at the end of that first row. I'm just gonna put my last single crochet in here. Oh, it's a little snug, there we go. And then I'll chain 1 and turn. Now I'm gonna put a single crochet in the first stitch of the row for row number 2. And then I'm gonna chain 1. And now I'm gonna skip 1 stitch and then single crochet in the following stitch. And then I'll chain 1 again. Then I'll skip a stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, and I'm gonna repeat that all the way across for row number 2. I'm gonna zoom through this and I will see you at the end of row number 2. Here I am at the end of the second row. I'm gonna do my last chain 1, and then I've got a single crochet in the last stitch of the row here. And then I will do a chain 1 and turn. Actually, we're gonna do a chain 2. Chain 2 and turn. And that's because we're going to skip the first stitch, the first actual stitch. So we're gonna ignore our chains, skip the first stitch, and single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row. Then chain 1, skip that next single crochet, and then single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row. Then chain 1, single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row, chain 1, single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row. And we're gonna do that all the way across for row number 3. I'm gonna zoom through this row because it's the same repeat. We're just putting our single crochets into the chain 1 space from the prior row, and I will see you at the end of row number 3. All right, I made it to the end of row number 3. I'm gonna put my last single crochet in the chain 1 space, and there's 1 single crochet left in the row, so I'm just gonna do a single crochet there, and then I'm gonna chain 1 and turn. And at the beginning of this row, I'm gonna start with a single crochet in the first stitch, and then I'm gonna do a chain 1, and then I'm gonna skip the next single crochet, and in the chain 1 space from the previous row, I'll do a single crochet stitch. And then I'm gonna repeat my pattern. So chain 1, single crochet in the chain stitch from the previous row. Chain 1, single crochet in the chain stitch from the previous row. And right now we are on row number 4. I'm gonna do row number 4 and row number 5 in this way. I'm gonna zoom through row 4 and 5, and I'll see you at the end of row number 5 to show you what we're gonna do next to work on this lanyard. All right, here is what we're looking like at 5 rows. We're about 3/4 of an inch wide right now, which is what we were looking for at this point. And now we're going to be going around with some slip stitches. So let me just finish this row up, row number 5, and then when I get up to the end, here we go. Gonna do my last single crochet, and now I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and now we're gonna work down this row for row number 6 in slip stitches. So we're gonna put a slip stitch in each single crochet and a slip stitch in each chain 1 space. So 1 slip stitch in each single crochet and 1 slip stitch in each chain 1 space. And we're gonna go all the way down the row just in simple slip stitches. This is just gonna thicken up our edge of the work and make it look a little bit more professional, a little bit more finished. And I'll meet you when I get to the end of row number 6 because we're gonna be turning and working a different direction at the end of row number 6. So I'm gonna just zoom through this row of slip stitches and I'll see you at the end of the row. All right, here I am at the end of row number 6. I'll just put my last slip stitch in. And now we're gonna turn the work. So we've been working down the row like this. We're gonna turn the work this way. And I'm gonna put a single crochet into the same place that I just put my last slip stitch in. And now I'm gonna put a single crochet in each row down. So I'm gonna put one single crochet here in each row, then one here, and we should end up with 5. Then one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's our last one, 5. And then I'm gonna turn the work again, and in the same stitch, I'm gonna put a slip stitch. And now down this row, I'm gonna slip stitch again. So in each of the stitches all the way down for this row, I'm gonna do one slip stitch in each stitch down. And this is our initial chain that we're actually slip stitching down the other side of. So there's no guesswork as to where to put the hook. There will be exactly one slip stitch per stitch all the way down. So I'll zoom through this one as well, and I'll see you at the end of the round. All right, here I am at the end of the round. Looking good, looking good. Put my last slip stitch in here, and then in the same stitch, I'm gonna do a single crochet, and then I'm going to do one single crochet in each row until I make it back to the corner. So there's gonna be 5 single crochets total because there's 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then I can join with a slip stitch to the top of that first stitch, just like that. And now we have a perfect rectangle. You can see how that chain 1 single crochet row creates this sort of knitted looking woven stitch. That's the linen stitch. And by doing that slip stitch all the way around, we've strengthened the border of that rectangle. And now we've got about an inch. It's just about 1 inch wide, just a little less than 1 inch wide. And the total length of our lanyard, or the first rectangle anyway, is about 25 inches long. Now, we're going to be folding this in half. So fold it in half so that the slip stitch edge is facing out, and then we'll put it on the vertical like this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put both of the tops. So the top is where we've got that slip stitch border. You'll be able to see the bottom doesn't have that slip stitch border. We'll have the top facing up for both sides of the lanyard. You're gonna have a loop like this. We want it folded like this. And then I'm going to put my working yarn, which is this guy right here. We're gonna keep that on the bottom, and then the second rectangle we're gonna put right on top. So rather than folding it together like this, I hope this makes sense, we're not doing this, but rather we're doing like that, you know? We want this to fold over itself so that when you pull all the way to the end, you're gonna have this loop at the end. It doesn't lay flat like if we were to be sewing it together like this. You could do it that way, but that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're gonna put both of the tops facing up, and then we're gonna put the non-working yarn. So here's our working yarn. Non-working yarn goes on top like that. And now we're going to be working to put this rectangle together. We're gonna seal these two together with single crochets. So let's do that next. Hopefully that was not too confusing. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up our loop with our working yarn, and then insert the hook into the first stitch on the second piece of fabric. Then yarn over and pull through, and then pull through your working loop, just like that. Then we're gonna insert into the first stitch again on the first piece, and the first stitch again on the second piece. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops, and that creates a nice single crochet, and it secures those two pieces together. Then we're gonna single crochet through the next stitch on both pieces. So insert in both pieces of fabric and complete a single crochet like that. Then in the third stitch on both pieces, then the fourth stitch on both pieces, and finally the fifth stitch on both pieces of fabric. And that is going to join our lanyard together. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn the work. Now we've got a row that is 5 stitches. We're gonna do another row of single crochets here. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch across, you'll have a row of 5 stitches. At the end of this row, chain 1 and turn. And I will chain 1 and turn. And now we're gonna start doing some decreases for this next section. So we're gonna do a single crochet 2 together for the next stitch. And that means we're gonna insert the hook into the first stitch, yarn over the hook and pull up a loop, then insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now there's 3 loops of yarn on the hook. We'll yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And now we're gonna put a single crochet in the next stitch. And now there's 2 stitches left in the row at this point. We're going to single crochet 2 together for those as well. So insert the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're gonna chain 1 and turn. And now for this row, we'll just single crochet across. There's gonna be 3 stitches in this row. And at the end of the row, chain 1 and turn. Now we've got a really nice short row here, and we're going to be doing a single crochet 3 together for this one. What that means is we're going to insert the hook and pull up a loop, insert the hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and insert the hook into the final stitch and pull up a loop. Now we've got 4 loops on the hook. We'll yarn over and we'll pull through all 4 of those loops. And that's going to make it have just 1 stitch now. So we'll chain 1 and turn, and then we're gonna put a single crochet into that 1 stitch. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to chain 30. 1, 2, 3, 28, 29, and 30. And now that we've got our 30 chains, we're going to slip stitch back to the first chain at the last stitch here. So we're going to slip stitch that together, just like this. And now we're going to do 1 more chain, yarn over and pull through. We can trim the yarn here. And now it's time to weave in all of these ends. And guess what, friends? This lanyard is finished. How cute is this? I love how simple it is and yet how detailed it looks. It has this like fancy quality just because we made the edge a little bit thicker with those slip stitches. I feel like it makes it look a little bit more refined. And then by stitching it flat, to me makes it seem more like an actual lanyard. So how this lanyard works is we put the little loop, that chain 30 we did, we put that loop through a key ring or a key, and then you can pull the entire lanyard piece through, and now you've got this super cute lanyard. What do you think? I love the linen stitch. Isn't that such a pretty stitch? I love the way it looks. I feel like this would be a perfect strap for like a tank top also. It's got like no stretch to it, which is awesome because we did that row of slip stitches, and as well because we did it long ways instead of a short row, this has like a really good durable quality to it. And since we did it in the cotton, this thing is gonna last for years to come. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this one and if you're going to make a lanyard as well. And by the way, thank you so much to everyone supporting the channel right now. Here is the list of everyone supporting the channel. If you would like to show your support, check out the links in the description down below, along with all the ways you can support the channel. There will also be all of the related tutorials for this project. So if you're new to crochet and you need to learn the stitches individually, you could definitely check down in the description for all the related tutorials. Anyways, friends, that is all I've got for you today. A very cute, very easy, very durable. Honestly, doesn't it look like thick? I kind of want to make a belt out of this stitch. How cute would that look as like a little belt, or even as the handle for a purse? I feel like this could be used for a lot of different things. Obviously, in this situation, a lanyard is perfect. We tapered it down. We've got the chain stitch, but otherwise, this strap could be used for lots of things. Like I said, friends, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!